Hello everyone, I'm Danut. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of StonicByte, and today I will speak about mastering project tracking in Jira, and more specifically how to do this by using our Grey Gadgets app. Before jumping into metrics and all kind of project stuff, I would like to give you some background information about us as a company. We are a Romanian company established here in Bucharest in 2011. We are specialized in apps development for Jira and Confluence. Currently, we are a Platinum Marketplace partner. We have multiple apps on Atlassian Marketplace, this app being used by more than 4,500 companies all over the world. Our main app is Grey Gadgets. It's a best-selling app on Marketplace, but we also have Documents for Jira. It's an app that allows you to keep your documents centralized and organized in Jira. We also have Project Team. It's an app that allows extending the Jira user profiles with custom fields. And we have DevOps. It's our new app, recently launched, an app that brings all kind of insights from GitHub and Bitbucket into Jira dashboards. Now, talking about project tracking, first question to answer is, why is project tracking important? Is it important? Well, the answer is obvious. Yes, it is critical. It is essential for the success of every project. And it's important because, first of all, good tracking brings transparency and visibility, so it's clear for everyone in the project what's being worked by whom and how it is progressing. Then good metrics, good indicators gives you continuous feedback about what's going on, and you have the chance to adapt and take informed decisions based on real data. Project tracking is also essential from the risk identification point of view. Good tracking helps you identify the risk early in the process life cycle, so you avoid surprises at the end of the project. Good reports creates alignment with the business stakeholders and gain confidence. And it's also important from performance point of view. Especially in Agile, every Agile team does continuous improvement to those periodic retrospectives. So it's always good to have in a team retrospective real data, real numbers about what's going on in your project. Now, when it's about what metrics and indicators to choose for your project, it can be a bit tricky because it is not always easy to choose the right metrics. In one way, you track a Scrum project. In a completely different way, you track an ITSM project. So there is no same set of metrics that you can put in place for every project. But in general, it's good to have three types of metrics in any project. First, there are progress metrics. These are those metrics and indicators that answer the question, is our project on track? Think to burn-down charts or burn-up charts in case of Scrum, completed versus remaining, epics completion, maybe an ETA of the release date, planned versus actual costs. So these are progress metrics that you must have in place for every project. Then we have flow metrics. These are those metrics that tell us, is our workflow performant? Is it something that we can improve? Do we have any bottlenecks in our flow? And this can include metrics like cycle time, lead time, average resolution time, WIP aging, time in status, and others. And the third category, which is very important in my opinion, quality metrics. These metrics tell you, do we meet the required quality level? And here is not only about product quality, it can be also about the quality of your service or about the quality of the process that you follow for building that product. So this category should include defects ratio, defect trends, maybe customer satisfaction or customer sentiment in case of ITSM, and SLA breaches. Now, when it's about tracking and implementing this in Jira, Our recommended way is to create Jira dashboards and don't use reports. I will explain why. Jira dashboards are good because you have the information in one place. Everything is centralized. They can be highly customized. Jira provides a good basis of gadgets, but you can add more, like the ones here, provided by our app. The dashboards can be cloned, can be easily shared. You have the data in real time, and they have great capabilities. You can, for example, project them on the wallboard in the open space, or use them as information radiators by displaying them on TV screens. The reports are also good, but in general, a report is for a specific metric. It tracks only one specific metric dimension. So reports are good when you want to go deep into details. But for overall progress status metrics, dashboards are just perfect. Another good way to do this is in Confluence. You can use the same gadgets available in Confluence as macros. So you can build your own project report by adding macros like this, which takes data from Jira. The Confluence pages have same advantages. They can be highly customized. And in addition, they let you add additional text. So you can add your own notes, your own conclusion to the report, and they can be easily shared and sent to the project stakeholders. Now, about great gadgets, this is where our app comes into play. It's an app that provides all kinds of charts, all kinds of diagrams for creating Jira dashboards and Confluence pages. And it is suitable for any type of project. So single team projects, multi-team projects. It was actually designed and it was envisioned as a complete solution for agile projects. So you can track Scrum or Kanban projects, but also agile at scale projects that involve multiple teams working on the same release, on the same project. It is suitable for ITSM. I will explain why. It's great for support teams. So we see it as an ideal tool for every Scrum Master, RTE, product owner, project manager, or even executive managers. Now, let's see as a first use case, Scrum. Scrum is the most common agile framework. It is highly used in software development. And as you might already know, the goal in Scrum is to develop a new software product, which is released at the end of the project. And the development takes place in iterations named sprints, which are usually 2 or 3 weeks long. So if you have this type of project or process, you will need some specific metrics. So in this case, a good sprint burn down or sprint burn up that gives you the progress at the iteration level, the release burn down or burn up chart that gives you the progress at the whole release level, not only at the iteration, and the sprint velocity, which is a key metric in Scrum. So these 3 metrics are a must, in my opinion, in every Scrum project because they are in the Scrum manual. In addition, you can complete your dashboards with additional metrics like the release ETA, a forecast of the release date, maybe to have the progress at the epic level if you track epic. Time in status is also good to track because you might see where the delays are in your flow and work with the team to improve and optimize the working flow. Visualizing the working progress is essential, but also it's about your own numbers because every project has its own specifics. You may track your own metrics or own numbers like number of critical issues in your project, like a number of issues not estimated, things like this. So you need a good way to add these numbers to the dashboard. In addition, you can have all kinds of custom metrics and custom charts added to the dashboards based on your project needs and specifics. And our product offers at least one gadget in form of chart or diagram or table that helps you effectively track all of this. I have here an example of a Scrum dashboard that could be used. We don't have time to go through all the gadgets here, but I will highlight the most important. For example, the sprint burn down chart is a gadget that Jira also offers. This one helps you track the project, the progress at the iteration level. This one is similar to the one in Jira, but it's more advanced. It has additional features. It can track the progress also by subtasks, because some teams use subtasks and put estimate on the subtask. It can calculate by any estimation field, story points, time estimates, issue count, or any numerical field. Can display any past sprints and let you configure the done statuses. So every team has its own definition of done. So we offer full flexibility here in choosing what statuses of the workflow to be considered as done. Maybe, yeah, some teams considers the in-testing status in their workflow as a done status. In addition, it can be easily configured as a burn up, and it can also provide a good sprint report that can be easily exported in CSV. Next to this is the release burn down chart with forecast. It has the same capability like the sprint burn down, but again, this has as focus the tracking at the whole project level, not only at the iteration level. This one is also capable to predict the ETA of your project, of your release, based on the current velocity of the team. So it calculates, it determines a velocity based on the past work, and then it uses that velocity to predict the end date of the project, looking at the remaining work to do. In addition, it's capable to do also a scope projection. What you see there, the purple line is the scope, because teams tend the scope along the project, and this one can also predict the scope changes, and you have the option to correlate the scope changes with the ETA prediction, with the ETA forecast. Next to this is the team velocity chart gadget. This one lets you display the amount of work committed and completed by the team along the time. You can see if your team improves or not along the time. It is similar to the team velocity report, but it has many additional capabilities. You can track the scope changes along the time. You can easily determine if your team has this tendency of changing the scope. It is something that you can, as a Scrum Master, you can work with the team and correct it, because it's not a good practice. It offers a good report with details about every sprint, so you can use this in any retrospective to see what happened in the past sprint and work with the team on improvements. Another gadget that is very useful is this advanced issue formula gadget. This lets you display your project key numbers. It is capable to display the count for the issues in a filter, or to sum up a field like story points. You can use this one to maybe to display the number of critical defects or major defects in your project. You can use to display the to calculate and display the bugs reopening ratio maybe, or the work completion. It is capable to calculate any math formula. So you can implement something like A plus B plus C, everything divided by D multiplied by 100, whatever, where A and B are count from different issue filters. Another good gadget, it's the pivot table and pivot chart. I know it's a practice to export data from Jira and then load it in Excel and do all kind of tables and calculations for having a table like this displayed. With these gadgets, you no longer need to do that. It's a gadget that can calculate and display pivot table and pivot charts with drag and drop, just like in Microsoft Excel. So you can use this one to display maybe the status of the epics or the epics completion in form of a table or heat map table, or you can display the information as custom charts of different types like this one, or maybe to display multi-dimensional tables like this one. Jira has that two-dimensional filter statistic gadget, but this one is capable to display multi-dimensional statistics, and you can display it not only by issue count, but you can display it by sum of a field, by percentage of completion, and so on. It's a really powerful one, and it will replace your Excel files. Another one is the wallboard gadget. It's good to have it because it displays, it makes visible the work of the team. This one can display the data in many ways. It can display the subtask. You can configure it to display swim lanes by various criteria. Some people asked why we choose these colors. Well, that's why, because we wanted this gadget to look like a physical agile board that the collocated agile team actually use in practice. But of course, you can customize the colors. So in the end, you can obtain a dashboard that can be used not only for reporting purposes, but your team can also use it. It's always recommended that the daily Scrum meetings to be in front of on the board, so the team can finger point specific issues from the current sprint. And such a board will help them have this information visible. They have the other charts in real time displayed, so the daily meetings can become more effective. And you have the option to display them on TV screens, use the wallboard capability of Jira dashboards. Our gadgets are all wallboard capable and support dark mode. But Gray Gadgets is not only about Scrum, it's very useful for Kanban. Kanban is different than Scrum. It is used in software development. It doesn't use iterations, but yeah, in Kanban, the idea is to fix the issues or implement the features as soon as possible and release at the end, when something is ready to be released. And this is an agile framework that can be highly utilized in ITSM or in any operational projects as well. For this type of workflow, it's essential to track metrics like cycle time, which represents the time to resolve issues from the team's perspective, or maybe the lead time, which is the time from the customer's perspective. To track the time in every status of the workflow, to know what to improve, maybe tracking the issues by their age, visualize the work in progress. I have the run chart that indicates if your team reach a good work pace, velocity or throughput, workflow stability through a cumulative flow diagram gadget, and so on. And our product covers all of this. I have here an example of a control chart. This one displays the issues from a filter by their cycle time or maybe resolution time. And you can easily identify the outliers. You can set a threshold, so you can easily identify the ones that are highlighted in red color there. So you can just hover an issue in the chart and see the issue number, and then you can work with your team to see what happened, to see exactly how you can avoid SLA breaches or delays. You can measure the cycle time as a trend. For example, this one here displays the average resolution type of the team for past time intervals along with the trend. And the lead time histogram displays the number of issues, the distribution of the issues by their cycle time, how many issues I had in every specific ranges. And setting a threshold will easily identify the number of issues that breach their SLA. Time and status gadgets is a gadget that can calculate and display the status for the issues in a filter. You can choose to calculate the total time or the average time and display it in different ways. So yeah, it's useful because as you can see in that example, in the in-testing status took long, maybe you can work with the team and see how to improve that step, maybe adding some automation or maybe adding a new tester to the team to reduce that time and make your workflow more rapid, let's say. You can choose to display this group by various criteria. You can have the time in status maybe by assignee or by agent or by many other criteria. Cumulative flow diagram is a gadget that lets you see the stability of your flow. It's very important in Kanban because it helps you identify bottlenecks, and the throughput tells you the amount of work that your team can complete from a week to another or maybe from a month to another and how they improve in time. WIP aging chart is a gadget that shows the issues by their age, which is time since their creation or the time since they enter in a specific status or in a specific board column. And this one helps you identify the ones that are about to breach the SLA. So it helps you identify the issues and maybe gives you the chance to avoid unnecessary escalations. While this one, the WIP run chart, displays the amount of work in progress over time and indicates if your team reached a sustainable pace or not. When it's about ITSM, which is, this is a basic flow, let's say, it's very similar to Kanban. But I would mention two more metrics here. You can use all the gadgets from Kanban in ITSM to measure specific metrics like average handle time, average resolution time. But here you can also measure the satisfaction based on the satisfaction score that your customers provide after the issue is resolved. And maybe the customer sentiment, which is something that Jira sets on every issues. It's a nice feature that uses AI to determine the satisfaction of every customer. And for this, we offer specific gadgets. You can display the average customer satisfaction score. You can display maybe in a form of a gauge chart like this. And you can track the customer sentiment over time with a cumulative flow diagram gadget, or maybe to see the number of issues per every value like of the customer sentiment, which can be negative, neutral, or positive. And last but not least, the Agile at Scale frameworks. These are frameworks that involve multiple Agile teams working on the same project. The good thing here is that these teams internally, they use Scrum or Kanban, so all the gadgets that I presented before can be used in an environment like this at the team level. But for such a process, you need, of course, metrics at the upper level. So for this, it's good to have maybe a release burn down chart at the global project level or the product increment level. It's good to have an estimation, an ETA of the release, maybe to have a good overview about the initiatives in your release and the completion of every initiative, work breakdown, and there are many other, there are some other numbers that you could also display. I have some examples here. That is an example of a PI burn down chart showing also the prediction of the ETA. This is an advanced formula gadget that shows specific numbers for the PA level, for the product increment level, and the pivot table used in various ways for displaying status at the initiative level. And yeah, you can use the velocity gadget to see a cross-team velocity for the entire release train if you use SAFe. So yeah, that's mainly about it. In the end, I would like to highlight three things. So tracking progress is essential for your success. Choosing the right metrics is key, and you need the right tool for for being effective. And gray gadgets can be a good solution for this. So thank you.